Fighting God! Quickly, let's talk about the Devolver Digital Conference.
I didn't see it.
It was brilliant.
It's brilliant. It parodied Nintendo Directs. It carried on the fucking through-line story of Nina Struthers, who's like this, like, CEO.
Yeah, like
from Devolver Digital.
Kind of a spoof,
like,
isn't it?
fucking good cryptocurrency loot box.
Yeah.
Fuck. Who cares? Fuck you. You're gonna buy it anyway. You fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny. They put RoboCop references into the whole thing. They showed off a load of like really funny games. They got bootleg Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
All of the Devolver Digital like famous games, but bootleg, which is on Steam. It's a real game. Carrion, which looked really good, and they had loads of blood and gore because of it. They had
Enter the Gungeon arcade.
Enter the Gungeon arcade machines, which cost $5,000, but you can actually buy them and they look great.
And they're real arcade machines.
Yeah.
Something called The Messenger.
Oh, so The Messenger was a game that came out
weird.
last year. It reviewed really well. It was like a Ninja Gaiden one, and they got like fun DLC with it.
Yeah, it was DLC for it, yeah. Oh, and also, My Hero Pedro, which...
My friend Pedro.
Sorry, My Friend Pedro, which, I might be wrong here, but as far as I'm aware, as of this recording, is out tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Correct.
Yeah.
No fucking way!
Correct.
Yeah, it looked really great.
I actually, because
Yeah.
I've had my eye on this since last E3 because it looks sick. I actually looked up quick if there had been reviews out for it yet. There's no reviews out for it yet. So I'm wondering if it's an embargo thing. So
I would assume so.
I hope it does well, but it's out tomorrow. And if it's cheap, I might just fucking buy it.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I'll
looks
get
great,
it at payday.
You're like fucking running around and then like you kick a pan up into the air and you shoot the pan and the pan deflects the bullets on the
I am a huge Devolver Digital fan. I think I have full faith in all of their games that they're going to be good. They're basically the only company at the moment that I have full faith that every time they release a game it's going to be great. And another bonus to this conference, aside from the fact that it was just fucking brilliant and really well, really clever and entertaining and well acted, there's a lot of football going on at the moment. The Copa America, Women's World Cup, under 21 Euros. Sure. And this conference was 20 minutes long. And I really appreciate that.
Oh, it's just, it
was such a breath of fresh air.
It gave its announcements. It was funny, and it fucking lampooned directs and just generally people using directs now.
Yeah.
And like it made the white space that they stand in directs canon in some way. It was really funny. I loved it.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital was like, that's like, as soon as I see that fucking sign, I'm like, I'm gonna buy that game. It's probably good.
They can do no wrong right now. I'm sure that will end at some point. Yeah. But for now, let's just enjoy it while it lasts. Something I was going to ask you, Jazz. Do you think they can pull this off again? Because it's basically the same joke that they've done 3 times. It's just like the third one.
And they
can they do it one more time?
Terminator thing.
Yeah. I think it's done for me.
I'd be happy if it didn't do another one.
Yeah.
I could see them doing one more because I know the games industry is a fucking shit mess, and it's going to shit the bed again.
Yeah.
Next year.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Enough for them to have material to do something.
Yeah.
But I feel like next one will be pushing it for me.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy if they didn't. If they just literally just said, we're not doing a direct or anything, we're not doing anything, here's the things on our website or whatever. Fine. Or whatever, I'll be well happy with that.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope it doesn't outstay its welcome.
I wish every single conference was like this.
100% agree. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get every single one of the games that they showed off, except for the arcade cabinet, which cost $5,000.
I'm going to try and get every game. I'm going to get My Friend Pedro tomorrow. Getting it.
I will get it when I get paid.
It's so rare that I actually buy a game when it comes out, so I'm just going to do it.
Agree. Let's move on to Square Enix. This won't take long.
Didn't see it.
Because there's so many games, but hardly any of them are worth talking about.
So there's loads of fucking remakes of 2008 Japan-only fucking RPGs.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy VII remake. Everybody come their pants and was screaming in the audience. Screaming at this fucking director. Like, whatever. It's like...
It's a 22-year-old game.
Do you want to see tit for tit? Yes! Very good. Yes, tit. Yes, tit!
What do you think of the FF7 remake, mate?
It looks good.
It does
I
look
like
good.
the gameplay. It looked decent because I was worried. Because I like Final Fantasy 15 and I know a lot of people don't. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3.
Is it true that you don't like Final Fantasy 7?
I like the
The
gameplay of
PS1
Final
version.
Fantasy 7. I've
Yeah.
played it all.
Yeah.
I think the story is absolute nonsense. And
Yeah.
It's absolute garbage nonsense.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's fun. Really fun game.
So the active time battle system that's used in that game is effectively the same one that's in Chrono Trigger, right? I don't know if you've played Chrono Trigger.
Yes, I have, yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah, because Chrono Trigger is my favourite, like, traditional style RPG.
Sure.
So it's below, like, Paper Mario 2 and Undertale, but in terms of, like, the traditional style RPG,
Final Fantasy 6 is better
it's
than
my
7.
top. Yeah.
Obviously.
I was just wondering whether if you enjoyed that, you have any enjoyment of this, but it looks so different. I mean, they've completely changed the battle system as well. It does actually look good, regrettably, and I regret that because people are milking themselves over a 22-year-old remake. Sorry, I should say a remake of a 22-year-old game. But other than Final Fantasy VII, I have no idea what happened to that conference. Jazz, did anything of any significance happen following FF7?
Lots of Final Fantasy announcements, like remaster of Crystal Chronicles, expansions of Final Fantasy VII, Brave Exvius. They're remastering 8, which is because they found the source code.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
Fucking nonsense.
I'm glad about this, just because
I
haven't played FF8. I just would like to buy it so I have a chance to play
Sure.
it. But I just find it absolutely hilarious that they lost the source
Do you know
code.
this? They lost the source code to Final Fantasy VIII, so they've never been able to remake it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What they've done is they've taken the source code they found and they've remade from what they can see. Like it's like a Frankenstein thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh, there is one more thing.
That's why recently they ported. Sorry, just to clarify this,
Yeah.
they recently ported Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX
Yeah.
to the Switch. Very conspicuously left out
and 10 and
8.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny.
This is almost the same story as, I don't know if you're aware of this, mate. You know the Silent Hill HD collection was a complete nightmare.
Oh.
Konami reportedly have lost almost the entire code for Silent Hill 2.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Bearing in mind, it's basically their most celebrated game,
It's one of the
aside from Street Fighter.
one of the best games.
Not Street Fighter, but yeah.
Castlevania and
Castlevania,
one
exactly,
of the best games ever critically.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious. Konami, fucking idiots. I will talk a bit more about Final Fantasy VII. Not too long though. The gameplay looks fantastic, which I was really surprised at. They meshed the ATB with general action, and it looks good. If it feels good to play, I'm fucking well happy. And obviously, it's going to be a lot to remake all the scenarios with soldiers and stuff. And it's different. It's way different to the original game, so that's interesting. And originally, it looks good. And people are Tifa, I don't. Fine, they all look great. All the characters look really good. This is fuck, this looks good. Shocked how good this looks. Then the niggles start happening where it's oh, it's 2 Blu-ray discs, and oh great, but it's only Midgar, the first game. So the first game, they're going to be releasing multiple games, they don't know how many. First game is only Midgar, which is a 7th or a 6th of the Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. How many discs were there on the PS1 version?
3, I think.
Brilliant.
So
Missed that. Side note, missed. Obviously, no need for it anymore because you can have a fucking install which is 12,000 gigs.
Yeah.
Missed being this game comes across 3 fucking discs.
Oh, you want to go back to Midgar?
Yeah.
Put in disc
It's
2 now.
You finish disc 1.
You know what?
Switch to disc 2. Yes. Inject it in my vein.
You know what a great example that is? Metal Gear Solid 1. That game is 10 hours long if you watch all the cutscenes.
Yeah.
So it's 10 hours long, but it's on 2 discs.
Yeah.
Because the audio files are so big. And it was one of the first, voice acting wasn't common back then, and the voice acting is proper excellent professional voice acting, and there's shitloads of it. So 10 hours long, and about 7.5 hours in, you have to switch the disc.
Kojima's a madman.
He's amazing.
He's an
Fucking
absolute
maniac.
madman. I don't want to talk about Death Stranding, but yeah.
Is that coming up?
No.
No.
It wasn't.
It's not an E3.
They did a.
They
did a Stranding trailer before, but it wasn't.
It was at the State of Play, I think.
Yeah. Thanks
so
for that.
7 looks great, but obviously they're doing the linear Midgar shit in one disc. They're going to expand on it. Fine, that'll be good, but they got a lot of with Cloud dressed up as a woman and stuff. They're going to have to be oh, this is a bit weird. So it's fine so far, but then I'm assuming they're then going into the next game that they'll release in 2021, where it's going to be the open world. They're going to do, I'm hoping, more like a 15, an open world game.
Yeah.
With continuing the story, But they don't know how many games they're going to release, and it's like, oh god, this is going to go on forever. Like, so whatever.
They just love announcing games, mate.
Yes.
They just love it. I think if E3 is
love
cancelled
announcing
next year, Square Enix will have their own conference still.
Sure.
They'll make their own conference.
But yeah, they didn't really have that much to say as well. Oh, they had the Avengers, and everybody was like, oh, okay, no gameplay shown, and it's a live service.
I'm out.
Cut out, straight out.
There's going to be a shitload of Marvel fans who are up for this. But if you're not, I don't know if there's much here.
No,
for you.
agree.
No evidence.
They look ugly as fuck. And
The game looks terrible.
Square Enix came out and like, no, we can't change the designs now, it's too late.
I mean,
Brilliant.
And everyone's like, but they're fucking ugly.
whatever. Like they're keeping the Marvel MCU. Who I don't care. Like it's a live service. They showed no gameplay, no faith.
I'm not even into the MCU. I'm out.
Cool, fair enough. That's Square Enix. Any closing thoughts?
This was
No.
actually more watchable than Bethesda and Ubisoft, but it didn't have any substance. But Square Enix is basically the only company that can get away with this because we know that we just need to let them do it, and then it will be done at least for a little while before they have to announce something else. They've just got to get out of their system. They're like a fucking heroin addict.
It was a real high, and then just sort of finished it because it was like Final Fantasy VII. Like I was like shocked at how good it looked, and then. Everything else is like, oh, we're getting like fucking Crystal Chronicles remake, Life is Strange 2 DLC for what? Fuck it, who cares?
Chocobo HD remix.
Yeah, whatever.
Final chapter.
Brave
prologue.
Exvius Xrd 24. Wait, no, wait.
Birth
The
by
DLC for fucking Kingdom Hearts was Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC Remind. Fucking great! Continue that! 2.8 fucking HD! 358 days by 2! Birth by Sleep!
Dream Drop Dissonance.
Jesus Christ, they love that nonsense!
Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep final chapter prologue.
Octopath Traveler, yeah.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo.
Moving on to the last two conferences. Ubisoft, I have nothing.
This was equally as horrific as Bethesda.
Brexit Watch Dogs. I don't care about Watch Dogs, but Brexit's funny.
I couldn't even find it funny. The accents actually pissed me off, and I'm from
really
this fucking country.
It's racist.
Only two things that were interesting at all about this. Number one, for Watch Dogs 1, correct me if I'm wrong, Ubisoft came out and were like, well, yeah, I think this is correct. Weren't they like, this is not political? Am I thinking?
Yeah, they did.
For Watch Dogs 1, they were like, okay, look, it's not quite clearly Watch Dogs 1 is political.
Yes.
But they came out and they were like, oh no guys, we're not trying to make a political statement here.
Yeah.
Second game, Brexit. It's like, well, you can't really say the same about
exactly.
anything the second game of Brexit.
Nonsense.
The only other interesting thing, Just Dance 2020
On
released
Wii.
on the Wii.
That is fucking
Not on the Wii U.
amazing.
On Switch, yes, and the Wii. Amazing.
Have they hit
That
some
console-
kind of intellectual goldmine here?
That console isn't HD. And yes, the answer is yes. People love the fucking shit out of Just Dance.
Yeah, I think that's the funniest thing ever. And they made an announcement saying they're proud to be the last Wii game.
When was it? When was the last Wii game? When was it officially discontinued? I'm assuming 2015.
No, what you just asked is when was the last Wii game? And the answer is it's not out yet.
Yeah.
Before that, it's like
Before that one.
probably 2014, 15.
Yeah, because the Wii U came out in 2012, but there was an overlap because the Wii sold so well and the Wii U sold so badly.
Fucking amazing.
Stunned.
So there was a lot more crap, like Rainbow Six crap, which I don't care about at all. Do you guys care about Rainbow Six?
Not at all. I just generally
So
kind of
Rainbow Six
despise
Siege,
Ubisoft.
Rainbow Six Siege was apparently, I'm not got heavily into it, is apparently really quite good and has its own sort of fan base and following. I think a lot of fans were looking for a Rainbow Six Siege 2 because they love there's something there in Rainbow Six Siege. It's a different multiplayer experience to what other shooters are doing.
Sure.
But they didn't announce that.
Yeah.
They just didn't they? It's a port or something.
It's a quarantine
It's like
zombie.
a separate game
whatever.
mode zombie thing.
Sure.
People wanted a sequel, and I wouldn't mind seeing that get a sequel because I think Rainbow Six Siege is a good game.
It's a good
that
idea.
offers something different.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But they didn't announce anything cool with it, so fuck you. Ubisoft.
Yeah, agree. The Division movies come to Netflix. That's fucking funny. Roller Champions.
It's always good when a movie goes straight to Netflix.
Yes,
That's always a great sign of a movie,
absolutely.
isn't it?
All of my movies go straight to Netflix. No, I haven't
They
got
go straight
that.
to Pornhub, don't they?
I think they go straight to your DVD in someone's basement.
That was class.
Roller Champions. Good sports game. Cool. Weird idea, but people probably like it.
I just got no faith. I mean, Ubisoft have made some of my favourite games ever.
They
but
put a demo
not
out straight
anymore.
away though, so
Yeah.
and people were like, "Oh,
Okay.
this is fun."
Yeah.
But
Fair play.
doesn't grab me.
Yeah. The conference itself was literally painful to watch.
Oh, and they ended it on Gods and Monsters, which was their like Breath of the Wild. Like it was just a CG trailer of just a Greek person attacking a monster. And it was like, this is their new Breath of the Wild. And it's like they showed nothing.
Yeah. Again, no gameplay.
How
no
can you
hype.
end it on a new IP with just a bare basic?
No gameplay, no hype.
By the way, guys, did they mention this? Did they mention Beyond Good and Evil 2 at any point?
They did a pre-conference stream about 1.5 weeks before, where they showed some gameplay and some other stuff. I have not watched it or know anything about it, but people don't seem very interested.
The hype for
I
that
feel like
game.
they forgot about
the
it.
hype for that game has fallen off a cliff.
It's just fucking
It's live service. They're fucking with the story, and it's like so much paid DLC content.
It appeared to be like a proper open world game now
and
as well.
it's a
Yeah.
boring open world game.
Because the first one isn't at all.
Yeah.
No, it's a linear Zelda-ish almost.
It's like Zelda. Yeah, there's four clear dungeons
Yes.
in it. But yeah,
No.
I'm out. Out on
Ubisoft, awful, boring conference.
I hate that company.
Again.
They are my number one most hated company.
Again,
At the moment.
Ubisoft, just do like a half an hour direct, mate. You don't need to. You don't need to.
Why do they even get their own conference? Are they big
they pay
enough?
for
I know that. Yeah, I know, but they're just in my brain. They're not big enough to get their own conference. But
A lot of their stuff gets shown in other conferences as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so whenever a new console comes out, you'll notice that Ubisoft come right out of the gate straight away with like 8 games, and then you look at what they've actually released, and it's just like another remake of fucking some Splinter Cell game, or do you know what I mean?
A new Rayman Rabbids.
a new Rabbids, another remaster of Rayman Legends. Like,
I mean, I think Rayman Origins was fantastic.
Yeah,
the last good
Origins.
game that they did.
yeah, maybe it might be because that is a masterpiece, but that was in 2011, dude. I was 17.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a little virgin.
That's
Little.
great. That's recorded for the world. Nice.
There we go.
Alright.
I've put it out 5 times.
There
Right,
we
we'll
go.
move on to the.
That's the title of the podcast.
Move on to the last conference.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
the big boy.
this is the main event.
This
This
is
is
the
why
one
we've left it
What we
last.
all waited for.
I'll
Yeah.
have my Nintendo conference medium rare, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I-
garlic butter and melt on that bitch.
Oh yeah, put a little parsley.
Yeah.
I was a bit bored of this conference until the last 5 minutes, or until Animal Crossing. Then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I thought the order they announced everything and the pacing of this was really good.
Yes.
They opened with the Smash Brothers character DLC that we all knew was coming. 'Cause if you have any interest in this, then you knew it was coming. It's been kind of leaked
for
for
ages.
ages.
Was this the Dragon Quest?
Yeah, the
stuff?
Dragon Quest hero and all his side costumes or whatever. If you didn't know that, then you probably don't care about this character anyway, because you probably don't care about Dragon Quest unless you are living in Japan and somehow listening to this, which you're not.
I'm gonna buy the next game though.
So you probably didn't care that much about that initial character reveal, but it doesn't matter because they knew that and they made up for it at the end.
Yeah.
Obviously, which we'll get to at the end. Everything else was good.
They showed off like
It was good to bad. What I'm trying to say is, at worst, that's sort of interesting. At best, it's alright.
I have a slightly different opinion on this conference than you two. I loved every second of it from start to finish.
really.
I loved every second of it. to Matt's point, I thought it was paced perfectly. Every time one game ended and then another game started, there was a couple of times I think I was getting ready for work or something, and I was running late for work. And I shouldn't have been, but I was watching the Nintendo press. I didn't want to. There was no point where I felt like I wanted to stop watching it. I wanted to watch it all the way through. Everything I found interesting, and well, even the games that I won't care about, I found really interesting. Yeah. There was a bit where I had a really big smile on my face, mate, because it came to Fire Emblem, and I know that the only remaining Fire Emblem fan is my friend Jazz.
Yes, that is me.
Who will be on the podcast.
That's me.
I'm like 3 houses.
Big fan.
Yeah. I'm going to play it, mate, just for you.
Of course I am. I really like Fire Emblem. I wasn't huge on Fates. I love Awakening. Love that.
It's one of your favourite games, right?
One of my favourite games. Three Houses, the gameplay looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They showed off in the treehouse that they've gotten rid of the weapon triangle, and they've put in like weapon arts for different characters. Just like, ooh, okay, I'm interested. I don't know. They've also taken out the kids mechanic, and you can't fuck when you're a teacher and a student.
Oh.
So all the problems, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a problem. Oh god, this is gonna be a problem. They took all that out because it's nonsense. Like they shoehorned it into the last game for no reason. It made no sense. Whereas they've just taken it out because it doesn't make sense. And it's like, yes, good.
I haven't played Fire Emblem games since Path of Radiance, and I loved Path of Radiance.
I like Path of Radiance.
So just for you, mate, I'm gonna play 3 Houses.
Cool, good.
For about 10 minutes, but I'm still gonna play.
This. I mean, I have no idea how this is gonna play, but it looked good. I'm happy with it. They didn't show much of it, I don't think.
Were there any highlights for you, Jazz, other than
the last 5
minutes?
Link's Awakening looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah,
gonna buy that shit.
Everyone's gonna buy it because I love that game. And then they added
games.
Dungeons that you can make yourself.
Yeah,
which everybody went.
Interesting.
It looks a very limited dungeon builder.
It does look very limited.
But it's interesting.
But I think if that does well enough, that Zelda maker people have been clamouring for is coming.
Do you know when I was like Age of Empires remake? I was like, it's cool to remake games that you can't play easily anymore. Link's Awakening is perfect for this.
Yeah.
Unless you had a fucking Game Boy, unless you have a Game Boy, I guess Advance or an SP in your hand. Does SP play Game Boy games?
It does, but you still need the cartridge and you still need it to be working.
Yeah. So I'm glad they'll be making this. I will play the shit. I will buy and play the shit out of that. The art style looks great.
Yeah.
Link looks fucking weird and it's great.
I replayed Link's Awakening just last year. It's one of my favourite games of all time. The level design is absolutely fucking impeccable. So yeah, but as far as the Nintendo conference goes, I just wanted to bring something up before I forget. We brought up our friend Yahtzee Croshaw earlier on. So there was a reveal of a certain game later on in the Direct, and it was like a bunch of anime robots. I'm like, this is the sort of weeaboo shit that Jazz is probably into, right? And then as it appeared, then I heard a very familiar voice, and it did turn out that it was indeed Travis Touchdown.
Oh yeah.
And it was indeed No More Heroes 3. So there is a video online of Yahtzee Croshaw interviewing Suda51.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great.
Suda's a weird man.
He's a weird bloke, but something I love about the interview, first of all, is Yahtzee, so he's sort of very, very relaxed about it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, this is not going to come across particularly well on the podcast, but I'll try and explain it. But several times he keeps going like this.
Oh, right.
He keeps so what I did there is he keeps putting 3 fingers up and throwing his arm across his own body to punctuate his sentences. And then even as they're finishing the interview, they're just like, all right, thank you. There's an awkward little handshake. And then they will stare at the camera and then he just goes... He's got a translator with him who's wearing shades the whole time.
It's from the Yakuza.
He's like some American guy in a suit with shades on.
Send me this fucking video.
I'm gonna show it to you. Whereas Yahtzee's just stood there, and Yahtzee is a very tall man. I'm assuming that Suda is quite a short man. So if you combine that, you see the difference between them as well. And then there's just this translator off to the side with shades on, just translating for him.
It's fucking weird. I mean,
bizarre.
He is a bizarre man, and I know obviously that fucking No More Heroes.
Yep.
Travis Strikes
Strikes Again. Yeah. got a lot
was
of
awful.
criticism. Yeah.
And people it was meant to be like, if it doesn't sell well, we're not making No More Heroes 3.
Yeah.
But
it didn't sell well.
But they're doing it anyway.
But do it anyway. People were like, yeah, great. Obviously, they didn't show gameplay, but they inferred that certain gameplay mechanics come back.
Again, no gameplay, no hype. But Suda 51 games are always interesting. For better or worse.
Yeah.
They're not all good.
I'm not a fan of him at all.
They're not all good.
Although I like No More Heroes 1.
But they are never boring. And
I've not played No More Heroes at all, but I've watched it and I reckon I'd like it.
Travis Touchdown is a cool character, a cool Nintendo character, and I'm glad we get more, even if the game may or may not be good.
No More Heroes 1.
I'm glad this exists. Basically, this was a cool announcement. I'm glad it exists.
I think this is a positive thing for everyone, even if you're not into No More Heroes.
Yeah.
But as far as No More Heroes 1 goes, if you play that game, within half an hour you'll be like, this is awesome. And then within 2 hours you're like, maybe not. But I thought, for example, Killer 7 was absolutely terrible.
Really?
The Suda 51 games generally have really bad gameplay. So they've got interesting ideas, really weird characters, and interesting art style, but they play horrendously. Even No More Heroes is not particularly good. Yeah, it's got very.
Love Killer 7.
Yeah, I don't know why. The gameplay of it is absolutely atrocious. But somewhere in No More Heroes 1 and 2 is a really amazing game.
Yeah.
And I think if they've got the good parts of both of them and leave out the bad parts, then they're finally going to get the game that they need.
He needs like an editor almost.
Yeah.
Like someone to sit beside him and just sort of make sense out of it.
Wouldn't really be like a Suda 51 game though, would it, if it took away from it?
Yeah,
But he did say something that is interesting in the interview. He said that they've only got 95 staff members in total in the company, and that's including external contractors, and their budget isn't high enough to compete with AAA games. He actually said that's in his own words, or at least in the translator's words. But he said that his games he needs to make money for his games just because he needs money, but he doesn't care how much he makes.
Right.
See what I mean?
He needs to make enough money so he can keep doing it. And
yeah.
Good.
But he doesn't care how it sells.
I mean, that's a good attitude to have.
Which makes sense considering that, let's say, Strikes Again didn't sell very well, but he's still doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of my highlights of the press conference.
I think so. I think that's yeah, it looked great. I mean, people were very happy, and it was a big surprise. There wasn't many surprises, apart from the last 5 minutes. But so they had a lot of Alien Isolation port, Witcher 3 downgrade port, Resi 5 and Resi 6 port.
Yeah, that was the real disappointment.
Oh, okay.
We sort of knew these were coming because as soon as they announced the Switch and it sold like hotcakes, it was like, okay, port season. Let's get these games Nintendo fans
pretty much
never played.
Yeah.
I quite like the live action Resident Evil scene that they sort of did until they unveiled that they're remaking Resident Evil 5, a half decent third person shooter that doesn't need remaking, and Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 6, which is atrocious.
I've done anything.
5 and 6 are probably more action focused and less horror games of the entire series.
They're not,
which is funny because that they did I'm too scared to play Resident Evil in this house, and then it cut to them in bright daylight of Africa and it's Chris Redfield with a gun punching boulders. Yeah, that was funny.
I think it's fairly safe to say that 5 and 6 are probably the two least favourite games in the whole series, except for possibly Resident Evil 0, which was the last tank control one, which everyone forgets. It's in between Resi 3 and Resi 4.
Veronica, shit.
It's in between Code Veronica and Resi 5.
That Witcher 3 port, just a quick word on it. But I don't know what to make of it. And honestly, it's more interesting as an experiment of what the Switch can and can't do than it is as a game. It looks like a fucking N64 game.
The textures he looks like he's made of wax.
It looks absolutely atrocious. However, I'm expecting they're putting a full game on that system.
Yeah, great.
Which is crazy. So it's kind of...
It's like that.
It's more interesting to see, it's more like interesting as a feat of engineering, is what I'm trying to say. Wow, they've put a lot of work into somehow squeezing this on to the Switch's 32GB cart limit, which is less than the deluxe edition install is on it's like, I think the deluxe edition install on PS4 is like 50 or 60 gigs.
Sure.
So they've had to get it down to 32 just to fit on the cartridge,
Yeah.
let alone frame rate or anything like that.
Sure.
Then they've had to try and get it so it runs and things. It looks like they've obviously had to make it look like shit, but it's probably no small feat.
We'll see how it goes.
It's only interesting for that regard.
But that's the point though, because with regards to how it's been downgraded, like they did Final Fantasy 15. Remember that was like a graphical fucking like it looked amazing. Whatever you say about the gameplay, looks fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Then they go, oh, we're releasing it for the Switch, and we're just like, what? And then it's the chibi version, and they cut down the fucking entire game into like the base assets. Like, it's, like bizarre that they did that, and I was thinking like they're doing that sort of with The Witcher, but like I guess they're just removing most textures.
They just got rid of the textures and the sound quality. It's going to sound like everyone's underwater. No, actually, they're not going to reuse any of the sound files. Instead, it's just one guy who's re-recorded all the lines in his basement on a default Xbox 360 headset to keep the
I've got
files
it. It's
down.
not even that. It's Animal Crossing language. I'll just get some of the nonsense games out of the way just before we can start to the big ones. Panzer Dragoon remake.
Oh, did anyone make a big deal of this, or was it just me?
It was just you.
It's just you.
I think it was
like
just me.
shit. It looked like
I'm
Star Fox.
I'm absolutely buzzing for it.
Sure.
I'm buzzing for it.
I know
mate.
people like those games.
Yeah. I didn't have a Sega Saturn back in the day, so this is my only chance,
Okay.
and it's my last chance because I'm the only one buying this. One.
Yeah, that's true. You're the one. It might as well be like Tom here. This is for
we'll
you.
get one set.
This is for you.
This
We
is
put
one of the games where it's
Tom,
like,
we've put your pre-order in for you. That's how the trailer ends. No need to pre-order, Tom. We've already done it.
We know your address, mate.
fuck
We
me.
got your number.
Yeah, to be fair, to your point, I'm surprised they're doing it because they already have Star Fox as an IP, so I don't know why.
Because
What is the point?
who makes Panzer Dragoon?
Sega.
Yeah, that's right. Sega were like,
Yeah, there you go.
we got
Buddies.
we got a team of 10 of us who are going to make a B.
Some guy likes that game.
A B title. Yeah.
Sure.
Let's dig through what IPs we have. Oh, what's this? Panzer Yeah, we'll do a
Dragoon, wasn't he
We'll
in
do a
the
Pain-
Beyblade?
We'll do a Panzer Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I thought people would make a bigger deal of that than it was, but apparently not, so moving on.
Yeah.
So the Dark Crystal, which was a Netflix, it got announced for the Netflix.
What the fuck was this?
They're making a game with it, like they're doing a Stranger Things game.
Okay.
It looked pretty poor.
It looked dreadful.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Okay.
I was like, that's the only. I think that was the only bit where it was literally
Yeah.
like, what was that? Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Damon X Machina gets a release date.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay, what is this? Then the demo happens, and people are like, this is the worst thing I've ever
Yeah, it
played.
looks bad.
Oh,
This
is
is
it?
so bad.
It looks bad.
Like,
Because I had
awful.
no opinion on it at all, but
There was
yeah.
the IGN thing I was reading, like, oh wow, it just looks as good as it did at the thing. Oh, it's gonna be great. And I was like, every other person I've seen talk about it's like, this is dreadful.
This will get released. No one will buy it.
No, but it'll get
No one will
5
remember
out of
that
10,
exists.
4 out of 10.
You will never
bad.
hear about this
Never
again.
hear it again. Astral Train, another.
Platinum Games beat 'em up, loving it.
Another Platinum Games.
I'm a big Platinum Games fan, big beat 'em up
It's
fan.
the same as Obsidian. I saw the trailers. I was like, I don't really care about this. Platinum Games. I now care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will probably be great because it's Platinum Games.
Playing DMC5 is now sort of like going, I want to play Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Like, just real flash.
And they clarified there was no Bayonetta 3, obviously. They clarified they're still fucking making their shit. So
and it's going well.
Everybody
Yeah.
calm down. But,
Cool. Let them take their time.
Yeah, I agree.
But listen, hey, new IP. That is something that didn't happen much at E3.
Yeah.
There's a new fucking IP from a well-respected developer who are making a new fucking game. And it's called Astral Chain, and it looks alright.
It's like Pokemon mixed with Bayonetta.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, that's exactly what it
like
is.
a hack and slash Pokemon. It's
Cool.
platinum. It'll probably be good, and I'll probably buy it.
Yep. I should probably play Bayonetta.
Yeah.
So they released Cadence of Hyrule, which is really good. Played it, beat it. It's really good.
Looks wonderful. Yeah. I haven't touched it yet.
I mean, there's some issues with some of the gameplay that are just minor, but I had a great time playing through it.
Yeah. That was such a shock as a crossover when it was not this time obviously, but when it was very first announced. It was like it came out of nowhere. But in the hindsight, it's an absolutely genius idea.
I'm hoping they do more weird little things like that. Like some indie developer gets hold of that their Metroid license, they make their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Nintendo were like, yeah, do this.
Yeah.
Nintendo seems to be way more open with spin-offs in recent years as well, because it seems to me like there's a lot of or at least crossovers with Zelda more recently. So like there was like Link in Mario Kart kind of out of nowhere. Then there was Zelda mixed with Hyrule Dynasty Warriors. So we got Hyrule Warriors, and now we got this as well. So and every time they seem to be pulling it off. So
I'm curious. I hope going forward Nintendo do like a Marvel Universe thing where they have IPs from different universes, just like, right, we're having Ness with Samus.
Donkey Kong's in this one.
Donkey Kong is with Kirby here.
Fine.
Like,
everyone
that's your selling point. That's your selling point. Yeah, exactly. Right. Pokemon was weird. Like, people get annoyed at it, but great. But I don't want to talk about this.
There's a lot to talk about Pokemon.
A lot to talk about Pokemon. We'll do that as a separate thing.
Shit.
It is Pokemon. Moving on.
Yes. So we've got Animal Crossing.
Loved everything I saw.
I loved everything I saw, mate.
Me too.
I cannot wait for this. I love Animal Crossing.
It's been delayed to March. Fine.
Great news.
So what's the idea this time? That remind me, it's like an island.
You're on an island.
Island.
It feels like a little bit more like a holiday resort, right? Rather than your house.
You gather things and craft. It's crafting stuff, but you gather things and craft like your furniture. And you can customize the entire town. So you can put furniture outside.
There's no more inside-outside limits. So people like set up a tent and then they had like a table tennis table outside it and stuff and a bench.
Yeah,
look cool.
It just looks like it's lots and lots more Animal Crossing that you can.
I mean, let's face it. Escape to the city.
City folk. Yeah, I think
in
this country it was let's go to the city.
Let's go to the city.
It's City Folk in
America. US. Yeah. Over here. Us Brighties.
Us dirty fucking Brexiteers.
Right. It's called Let's Go to the City.
Yeah.
That game sucked.
Yeah.
So
Wild World was awesome.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite games.
Agreed. Magnificent game.
Now I know people will laugh at this because it's Nintendo talking about. They have to get the multiplayer right for this.
They showed off 8 people in the same town.
They have to, and that's a good sign. Let's Go to the City where you can only meet other people in the city section is the worst.
In the treehouse, they showed off the multiplayer. Right. That was their main focus.
Okay.
Looked fine. Like you can change host mid-game to whoever you want, just so someone wants to leave.
Yeah.
It looked fine.
If they get this right, it's going to be great.
And there was no lag, no people just moving around the screen. So I was like, cool, great.
Small little improvement you might have missed. There's a little feature as well where your character can pole vault.
Yes.
Into the river, over the river.
Oh,
I thought that was a wonderful idea because I was getting flashbacks of having to walk all the way around and finding the bridge to get to the other side of the river where you already are. Yeah. So like you see a crack where there's a fossil on the other side of the river, but you can just effectively jump over it.
I absolutely agree. It was my favourite. That was I was like, love that. Also, they confirmed Isabelle was coming back. Everybody's favourite girl.
Animal Crossing is very special to me, and I've never been able to get back into it since Wild World because I am now an adult, and I wasn't one when Wild World came out, and it's difficult for me
on the portable Switch. I tell you though, it's going to be big.
Yeah, I think also now that it's portable again, I know it was for 3DS as well, but hopefully I'll be able to put in about 40 minutes every single day onto it, which is how you're supposed to play Animal Crossing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I can see myself doing that too.
Cannot wait.
We'll talk about, before the final 5 minutes, we'll talk about Luigi Mansion 3.
I'm buzzing.
You can eat Luigi.
Can you eat him?
Luigi.
So no, they asked the developer weird questions like, what do you reckon Luigi's made of? Can you eat him? And he goes, probably like jelly beans or something. And yeah, probably. I'd say you can eat him. And like things like that. And apparently like Luigi's like, they're like, oh, the girls like Luigi more than they like Mario. Like weird little
there was a tweet. I don't know if Nintendo. This is actual information. Nintendo said they surveyed their audience or something, and they found out that Luigi is more attractive as a playable character to their female audience than they expected.
Well, I think he's taller.
Yeah,
Matt made a great tweet exactly that.
Like, he's the taller brother. What a shock! But that's just funny. Luigi's Mansion 2 was 3DS.
It's got a deeper voice as well. Sorry, I won't harp on this.
Luigi's Mansion 2 was 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't great.
I'd never played it.
It is great.
I never played it.
It's great.
I don't like the level structure.
Yeah.
So I think Luigi's Mansion is like a landmark. So brilliant.
Yeah.
This niche, weird game that's so good. And And it had this whole story throughout the entire mansion is one level. The family is the ghost, and they're not even like enemies to you. They're just sort of there.
Yeah.
And I love that game. Then they took away like the unique designs of some of the ghosts in 2.
Yeah. It is more streamlined and a little bit more basic.
And
yeah.
the developers said that they specifically didn't like the bosses in 2. They specifically said, we regret the bosses.
Yeah.
We've worked really hard to make these bosses memorable and fun and unique in 3. So that's good.
3 looks... I loved 1, and 3 looks like a callback to 1, rather than a sequel to 2. As long as there is a dedicated button to call for Mario, we're good.
Which does nothing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
I agree.
genius.
I love that.
That's amazing.
idea.
All the little touches in Luigi's Mansion 1 are basically what makes it. The way like his hands shake as he's about to grab the doorknob. And a lot of that stuff was missing from Luigi's Mansion 2. I think that with
I hope they put back a lot of the, not dark, but like the actual tension and the horror and the quiet.
Yeah.
I really hope they put
the
a lot
first
of that
one
back.
was a lot more scary and a lot more tense. Like it did an amazing job of creating an atmosphere.
Speaking, I've plugged in my video where I did a 30-minute analysis of Luigi's Mansion and how great it is. Please go watch that video.
Leave a comment. It doesn't have to be a good. It doesn't have to be a good one, but if you just leave a comment.
Whatever, mate. I'll fucking flame more. Don't worry.
But yeah, I think a lot of the reasons for the changes in Luigi's Mansion 2, some of the things you were talking about there, Jazz, with like multiple levels and multiple mansions, I think was a kind of reaction to them being petrified. No, I think that they were being, maybe, but I think they were being petrified that it was just going to be too short. Because the main criticism of Luigi's Mansion 1 is it's roughly 2 hours long. I don't think in the modern day though anyone cares about it anymore.
No.
I think it'll be fine if it's 4 hours and brilliant.
I know Luigi Mansion 3 is one single story.
That'll be great.
They said it's one single story.
I'm fully in.
The gameplay mechanics they've had, like Luigi and the lifting poltergust and stuff.
Yeah, you can like body slam the ghost now.
Yeah,
right?
fucking that looks fucking funny.
You can basically, you can effectively suplex the ghost.
Yeah, exactly. They look interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. I'm sad that they haven't got like sort of like boss ghosts that are like just there, like like the family. Like I was thinking, a hotel.
In the first one.
Yeah, there's like the mum, daughter, the
I love
the
that boss.
uncle,
Yeah.
that's they're all just scattered around. You don't even have to catch them all. I was hoping that the hotel guests would replicate some of this, like they would be sort of ghosts like that with their own quirks that you do. It doesn't look like it's gonna be, which is a bit sad.
Yeah.
But it looks fine. Looks good.
I have 100% faith. I think it's going to be great. I cannot wait for it. Do we have a release date? Is it 2020?
I think it's this year.
I thought it was November.
I thought it was.
I'll look up really quick.
I thought it was November as well.
So we're going to have 2 games to play this year. Doom
Yes.
2 and Luigi's Mansion 3.
I think so.
Get in.
It's either November or like October.
Yeah. I'm 100% in.
Oh, quick side note: Dragon Quest. I'll buy that because I want to play it.
So just before we get to the last 5 minutes of the Nintendo conference, one thing I was going to point out, I don't think anyone here cares about this as much as me, but I was really happy with the kind of, so they're releasing some bundles, some retro bundles. So the Contra bundle, I'm going to buy it, just so I can have all of them. I know they're not the best games ever, but I'm just going to buy them all. Also, and this is a big deal, I don't know if it definitely won't be a big deal to Matt, but so the Mana trilogy, Collection of Mana.
Ooh.
So Trials of Mana is the sequel to Secret of Mana, which never got released outside of Japan in any sort of form, and is considered by the 6 people who have played it outside of Japan to be better than Secret of Mana. And the only way to play it prior to this collection was to spend like several hundreds of pounds by importing it. So I'm buying it, I can't wait. It also gives me an excuse to actually go and complete Secrets of Mana because I really enjoyed that. I think it's already out.
Out in the
I think it's already out as we speak.
That was a really interesting. I think that was a cool.
Yeah. That was like Mother 3, but for Secret of Mana fans.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of Mother 3.
Speaking of Mother 3,
there
was none.
Again,
Okay, moving on.
Fuck you, Nintendo.
Again.
Luigi's Mansion 3, no release date, but it is 2019.
Okay, so likely I would have thought around the October time before Halloween.
Right.
No, let's get the disappointments out of the way because we want to end on a big positive note.
Yeah,
there was no Mother 3, and
There's no Star Fox, no F-Zero.
the tears are in my eyes as we speak.
Yeah.
because there was also no Mario Strikers 3. And they did not. They did not. It's not. I know it's not coming, but I like to believe.
Yeah, you got.
And I thought with the World Cup last year would have been a great time to release Mario Strikers 3.
We sort of did get Mario Strikers in the form of a football minigame in Mario Sonic Olympic game.
Oh yeah, they're still making those.
I mean, it looks atrocious.
Where you can fucking judo throw fucking.
Oh yeah, the best thing about that is
Tails punches Peach.
Dr. Robotnik doing like 100-meter hurdles, whatever, and he's wearing like weird running shorts.
Yeah, it's really fun.
And his like skinny legs.
He's a big fucking round fat fucker.
They kept him all fat and fuck, but he's got like. Doesn't he like beat Sonic in like a rape?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he always does in the game.
Someone, yeah. No, but there's like a 100-meter sprint, and who was playing it like as Robotnik, I think like beat Sonic and like he ducks the line past Sonic. Yeah. There's a Twitter meme.
Love that.
Funny. Right, last two.
What was the game that was announced before the next Smash? What was the? Oh, was it Animal Crossing? Okay, so Animal Crossing was like the final, like New Horizons, March 2020 release date. And I was like, okay. Usually Nintendo is like one more thing.
Yeah. They always finish on a high. They're the opposite of Square Enix.
Yeah. So when they did like, here you go. I was oh shit, here we go. They did the K. Rool trailer, which popped. I was like, oh my god, they're redoing this. And like, I was like, at first I was, because as soon as they showed the Donkey Kong with the K. Rool, I was like, this is a new trailer. And then my first thought was to Porky from Earthbound,
right?
Because of the leak which showed a similar style moving animation of Porky and Gygus.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my fucking god!
No, it's not.
Like,
it was never gonna be that.
But instead, we got something that people actually wanted.
Wait, I'll finish where my train of thought was. I was like, Porky is a character in Smash. Because he's not a sticker or he's not fucking any of it. He's a character in Smash, and they're doing the Mother trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I was, couldn't believe it. Then they started off with Donkey Kong, and I was like, what? And then K. Rool's there, and I was like, oh, something's different. And then
the jigsaw,
the Jiggy falls, and
yeah.
Me and Otis both stood up. Wait, what? Yeah. And then the whole rest of the trailer was just like.
Well, even when they did the like sort of swerve with Duck Hunt, it was obvious that Banjo was going to jump in anyway.
Obvious, yeah.
But Nintendo always like to do this, even though they know it's obvious.
They love it.
But
it's fine. I love it.
It's cool.
The best part about that reveal
it was perfect.
The best part about that reveal is after the silhouette goes in, it's Banjo and Kazooie. It cuts back to like DK, Diddy, K. Rool,
and
they're just like marking out.
They're literally just marking out.
They're like representing what everyone else at home is. They're like,
love it. Cool.
Because normally,
nice moment.
Normally they're either confused or they want to fight, as in the characters in the trailer. But this time they're just marking out.
Like we're happy.
Yeah.
There is a video on YouTube of it. Well, I'm sure there's hundreds of them of like reaction videos, but there's one in particular where it's absolutely fucking ballistic. It looks like. You know, like the World Cup goals from last year.
Because they showed it in like one of the Nintendo centers or something.
Yeah, I think it was
gathered
that.
Around, and it was like beer throwing everywhere, fucking shit flying in the air.
Yeah,
people were absolutely mental.
Yeah, it was like the World Cup reaction videos from last year, but with less alcohol. But there was still some alcohol being thrown. Yeah,
I've seen one which is like a Twitch stream of some kid. Like doing commentary on the Nintendo conference, and the Smash trailer's up. And he's like, so it starts obviously Smash, and he's like,
Master Chief.
He's like, who else could they even add? And then the Jiggy jumps across, and he just starts screaming. And he's like falls off his chair. I was like, this is awesome.
What, as if we've run out of video game characters? Fuck me.
As much as I hate reaction videos, I watched a 20-minute video of Japanese YouTubers reacting to it. Honestly, it's so humbling because I'm shocked at how much they love it. Like, it's just like, you're right to yawning. It was like these Japanese YouTubers like, oh, Nani, smash it, donkey, Jiggy, Banjo, this, and they fucking jumping out of chairs like can't believe it. And I'm like, oh wow, it's really nice to see how much.
He looks really interesting to players as well.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
No, who cares?
I mean, I'll main him.
So he looks great.
He could be effed here.
He looks great and he animates well, as all you think were Smash characters. I've seen a little comparison video of like some of his animations from Banjo-Kazooie, and they've actually imported them into the game and like incorporated them into his moves and stuff. So that's cool. What I will say about this is that I think this was not easy for Nintendo to do.
No.
I reckon they paid Rare a good fucking chunk of change, and they jumped through a lot of hoops to eventually be able to get him in the game. And it's cool that they were like,
because Phil Spencer was like, whatever, just we're good friends with Nintendo. You can have Banjo. On
Rare
Twitter,
were probably like.
Microsoft have the. Don't Microsoft had the license?
Yes, but Phil Spencer's like, we don't care.
I reckon this wasn't an easy thing for Nintendo to do.
No,
and they did it anyway because they were like,
the fans will love it.
The fans would love it, and that's cool.
And pretty much guarantee the next direct they'll show off the rare re-release or the rare collection or whatever.
I was gonna say,
Switch. There's absolute guarantee.
I was just gonna say, do you think they're gonna put the because there was basically a HD remaster of
100%
and Tooie
guarantee.
And I don't actually like Banjo-Tooie, but I do love Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah,
but
it's one of my favourite games.
Yeah, do you think we're gonna see that on Switch for
100%.
download? Yeah,
I mean, because Microsoft put in like their games on the Switch anyway, because they still get a chunk of the money. Like
Cuphead's now
Senua's Sacrifice, all that. So they don't care, and they'll get the money. And
if it's on Switch, people actually buy it.
I'll fucking buy that shit. Oh, so happy.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Honestly, if I'm honest, I think the next 2 reveals for characters will never live up to that.
Yeah.
No.
Like, because I mean, Cloud obviously is huge. You get like Ryu and everything. You get what the shit is, Simon Belmont for me.
Yeah, it was a big one.
You got Ridley, fan favourite, whatever. You get King K. Rool, I was well happy with. You got Simon Belmont, obviously. So, what more can they do? What was the first DLC? Joker. I was like, great. And then they got Dragon Quest and Banjo.
I can't see how they're going to top it unless they come up with something ridiculous like Master Chief, which is.
I've heard rumours that it's Sans or Frisk and Waluigi, which makes sense.
Yeah.
but
anyway,
at least now we can actually say it. Banjo-Kazooie
is in Smash
doing the Ice Climbers thing. And it is confirmed.
Unfortunately. I wish they were.
I love the bit where he takes Kazooie at his backpack and slams on the fucking ground.
You can like KO Kazooie and then Banjo's a little weaker. And they have a wobble. They fixed
Jazz. That was brilliant, mate.
They fixed.
I
can tell. They fixed wobbling for ice climbers, but they've just like fuck it and they brought it back with Banjo Kazooie. I was mad.
Egg wobble.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, and then
extremely happy. So then I was like, that's it. That's the final reveal.
And then
great. Then Nintendo decides, nah, that's not good enough. Time to pull the fucking fast one of you guys again. Here's another trailer, and then it cuts to obviously Link and Zelda with their Breath of the Wild models. I'm thinking, oh,
DLC,
new DLC for Zelda.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And then like it looks like, oh, we're gonna go see Ganon underneath Temple. Then it goes, nah, friends. Sequel to Breath of the Wild. I think I tweeted when I saw the Banjo thing. I said I had a stroke. Then I tweeted again and said, I just had another stroke.
It was.
Cannot believe it.
I will state, no gameplay, no hype.
Yep.
But it was really cool reveal. The way they're like really somber, no talking. Everyone looks fucking miserable in that trailer. They have the
Ganon's a fucking mummy.
There's like backwards music playing. I was like, oh man, this is creepy.
And then you reverse it and you get like, it's like some people have translated it as things like, please stop Ganon or something.
Yeah.
Please, it's like, cool.
This is a bit weird. What's going on?
The developers have said this is dark. They're trying to make this darker than Majora's Mask.
Whoa.
I take that with a pinch of salt.
Obviously,
but yes.
The one thing me and Matt both pointed out was, okay, but we're seeing the same Hyrule as Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
So I hope they're not reusing that.
They do the pan shot and it's the same Hyrule, but the castle moves up, right?
Castle's moving up. So what I'm hoping is they do some sort of Dark World thing.
I reckon.
Where it's obviously they use a lot of the assets, but it's a dark world. Yeah. So they get to fuck about with it as much and make it somber.
Same map remixed with same assets. Maybe some new ones, but mostly same assets.
And
same maps remixed with a gimmick. Don't know what it'll be. Maybe some dark.
It's the hand, because Link's got this like the hand is like flesh like falling away, and he's got this like golden hand.
And then
sealing Ganon.
And then there'll be new areas under where the castle was. I'm fine with this. It was cool.
Matt has said like no gameplay, no hype. I disagree in this instance. I think it doesn't need gameplay, still hype, because Breath of the Wild. Now, I love Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
I think it's a really wonderful game.
Me too.
And in many ways, it does some things that is better than in some of the things it does it better than any other game that's come before it.
Correct.
However, there are quite a number of significant problems with the game, and I think if they just did a sequel which pulled off a lot of what they got right the first time with those problems fixed, I actually think a sequel to Breath of the Wild could almost nullify the first game. I think that it would almost make the first game obsolete.
Yes.
I genuinely think there are enough issues in that first one that it will be almost like the Dark Souls to Demon Souls. Maybe that's not a good example.
Sure.
But
I
maybe
get that.
something like that. So any sequel to Breath of the Wild is a must for me.
I'm 100% with you. I said this when it first came out. I said Breath of the Wild is a 10 out of 10 game. One of the best games I've ever played in my life. Yet it has so much stuff it can improve, which makes me so excited. Now they've decided to not only continue the story from where it left off, so we've got these characters who have like relatively bit of interesting development and stuff, and it's going to happen hopefully as the game progresses instead of in memories. We get the same mechanics hopefully. We get upgraded stuff, and they get the duration, the weapon durability. They can probably like bump that shit fucking way up. Can probably
Or get rid of it
or
altogether.
repair, or tweak it, fix it. Linear dungeons people have been screaming for. New sort of like different areas and shrines.
I'll be unbelievably surprised if we don't get linear typical Zelda.
So like,
yeah, I think if we like a similar game with 6 dungeons in it.
Even if we don't get 8 or 6
just
we'll get
4
4,
dungeons,
we'll get
but like actually, I mean, just design like loads of those Sheikah like things together in a dungeon style thing.
Yeah. Get rid of the crap shrines and replace them with 5 full dungeons. That are great.
More enemies on the overworld, like Tektites, Levers, likes, Skulltulers. Like we're missing a lot of like.
All of those were completely missing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was, I think there's like 6 enemy types.
Yeah.
There's Moblins, Bokoblins, Lizalfos.
Is there an Octorok in there?
Octoroks.
Yeah.
Bats.
We're almost at the end of the list. Yeah, there's bats. That's in terms of
and like the mini bosses like the Hinox and stuff.
Again,
yeah, 6 or 7. Yeah.
Again, show how far behind I am. Not played Breath of the Wild yet. I'm gonna get to it. Are Redead's in that game?
No, they're not.
They're gonna be in this.
Well, Ganondorf is pretty much shown as like a Redead, pretty much.
It's gonna be so dark. Well, maybe. What I will say on this is that Majora's Mask. Now I know not everybody loves it.
Not my favourite.
Not everybody loves it universally.
Not my favourite either.
But at the same time, people do love it universally. Majora's Mask.
The older it gets, the more praise it gets.
Majora's Mask has almost done them no favours with this because people are going to expect Majora's Mask quality out of this, if not more.
Majora's Mask story and theme and setting
atmosphere
is
incredible.
probably the best.
Ever.
Apart from like Dark Souls, like so
part of me thinks
I think the reuse mechanics and the dungeon layouts and stuff really let the game down.
100%.
But like for a game that was made in a year,
So part of me thinks that, not to undersell it, but Majora's Mask was very much a lightning in a bottle when they made this.
Yeah,
and
it
if you know
totally
anything about the development hell of that game,
Yeah.
it was a mess, and it all came together and it was amazing.
Anuma doesn't like it.
Yeah, and it all came together in the end. So Nintendo have got to replicate that lightning in a bottle by making. I'm guessing, they didn't say anything about release or anything, but considering that of reused assets, I'm guessing this isn't too far off. And I'm guessing this is going to be the.
I'm thinking early 2021.
I'm guessing this is the Majora's Mask to the Breath of the Wild, and I'm guessing people are going to hold it to those standards. So they got a task on their hands. But that Zelda trailer was one of the most interesting Zelda trailers ever released.
Yep.
It was so good.
And the fact that the text was literally to the effect of, it was literally, wasn't it, we are making a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
There was no like advertising slogan. There was no like trying to advertise. Do you know what I mean? There was no sort of
just
something to draw you in. It was so matter of fact.
You love that shit. We will get.
It was like, we're making another one.
Just to make a point about E3 and how press conferences and directs, right? If this was Bethesda, they would have shown the trailer, then they would have had Miyamoto come out on stage, like, oh, this is director of the Zelda franchise. It's Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
And then he would have come out and said something dumb and broken English, like, last year, or when did Breath of the Wild come out? 2 years ago?
2017.
Fuck, yeah.
March.
In 2017, we released Breath of the Wild. Since then, we've had over 2 million players. On Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
We are grateful.
God.
And we are now making a sequel. It is set in Hyrule.
We've heard you.
Again.
We're adding linear dungeons.
We've heard the fans. Now I'd like to bring out the other coder.
Aonuma.
Aonuma. Oh, hi guys.
What's Aonuma's first name?
My name is
Eiji
Aonuma. We are making Breath of the Wild 2. Last year, we were very appreciative of all the feedback. That's how Bethesda has done it.
It's shocking.
And it would have lasted
50 minutes.
It would have lasted like 50 minutes, and they would have also announced like a Breath of the Wild companion mobile game that you can download right now. But Nintendo was just like, bang, trailer. We're not going to explain any of it because that's better, and you can rank over this, and you can discuss this on dumb podcasts for 20 minutes. So we're not going to.
make ourselves look like idiots.
We're not going to explain this at all. It's going to be quick and brief. We don't need to see anything more.
The imagination is more powerful.
No fucking logo. Nothing. We're making a sequel. End that shit. And it's great.
I'm so excited.
And I think that's the best place to end not only E3, but this video. But I will say one thing.
Yeah.
To end this on a somber note, because Breath of the Wild 2 probably is going to be somber. If I had my way, this would be the last ever E3 conference.
I agree.
I'm done with this traditional style of presentations.
You get a lot of flack from people like /Nintendo or whatever. They're like, love E3, it's so funny or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not anymore. You've not had any of those. You get some good moments, but like honestly, the funnest stuff you can do with like directs. Like remember they did the Muppets and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope they go back to more of that.
Yeah.
But like,
well, Nintendo just do directs regularly, don't they? It just so happens they do also do one on E3 weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was a time in like 2006 and that kind of
Where it
era
was fun.
of gaming where it was like, okay, you watch Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, and if you don't, you're fucking missing out because bombs are being dropped. These companies are going to go for the throats.
Yeah.
Everything is being
they're showing
announced.
everything here.
Like the next fucking console, they're bringing it out on stage.
Smash Brothers is solid snake.
They're bringing it out on stage. They're bringing it out on stage. They're gonna play it. Like there was a time where it's like, you fucking watch this. You wait for this all year and you watch this. It's not that anymore.
I've got the
Twilight Princess trailer ends and it's just Shigsy behind the screen with the fucking sword and the shield and full link it. And he just all he does is stand there on the spot and slash the air, and everyone's going ape shit.
Get in my veins.
Right now,
yeah,
we can. Let's not discuss it now whether or not it's good or bad. No, that's dead. But it very much is dead. Half these companies don't have enough to fucking talk about.
No.
To be on stage.
It's too expensive.
And
it's just a nightmare. In so many companies talking so many games together that they get lost in the shuffle.
This shit was too long. Almost every company didn't have gameplay. They had CG trailers.
Yeah.
Because of the way schedules have worked, there's not much coming out in 2019.
No, it's all coming out in 2020.
It's coming out in the future.
There's like 4 big games coming out in March 2020.
If not 4 future consoles, which is probably more.
Yeah.
Probably what people
They're preparing for the next gen.
Probably what people are working on right now. So rather than put out a shitty press conference, just don't show up this year and be like, we don't have that much to show.
Or do a 15-minute state of play direct.
We'll do a little video where we show you what's coming this year. You are right though, it was a poor E3. It was bad. Microsoft did fine, they had an okay showing themselves. Nintendo had the little direct, which was really good. Yeah. Everything else was awful. Don't watch it. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, Devolver Digital was like 15 minutes, but it was like fucking dumb.
I'm not saying this out of arrogance, you're better off listening to this podcast.
Or just...
Yeah. I honestly think you are.
No, I agree.
Or you're better off just checking Twitter, like, by habit, over the E3 weekend.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they announced there's a new FromSoft. Okay, cool.
Unfortunately, the biggest problem is that it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, Wii Music and it was a fucking disaster.
I agree.
It's boring.
I agree. Even when
I think it's just outdated as well.
Listen, even when E3 was awful, we had fucking giant enemy crab and
Mr. Coffee.
Mr. Coffee. We had giant enemy crab and real-time weapon switching.
Peggle 2.
We had the weird drummer guy doing Wii music and
completely out of tune.
We had Shigsy on stage doing Skyward Sword and it fucked up and he couldn't aim properly or do the sword swings. This is car crash.
The music cuts out 3 times in Uncharted. Aisha Tyler is just fucking memeing with the crowd. But no more.
And now that Reggie's gone, I think it's time to put E3 to bed.
Yeah, I think so.
Much like the Mario Strikers franchise. It's time to get the fucking shotgun out.
They did that all the
Take
Get
time.
old
down on
Yeller
his
down the
knees.
fucking...
And with a tear in my eye, fucking blow his brains out.
I think that's a great place to end the podcast there. So thanks for listening. You can find us all on Twitter. I'll put us in the description. Bad News Tom.
That's right.
At Bad News Tom. At OrangeJuiceJaz. At Bodak_Horseman.
You got it, bro.
Uh,
if I get one follow-up from this, it was worth it.
Yeah.
If I get one, I won't.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next year when this shit show inevitably happens again.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, please.
Bye.
DM me, Keanu.
Okay.
No, dog shit.
Yeah, awful.